it's Beck here from Cats Live Here and Studio Beck, and it's time for another Wednesday What? And today I wanted to talk to you about winter. It is winter here in Melbourne, Australia, and I'm not the only one feeling it, surprisingly enough. My plants are feeling it too. How are they feeling it though? Well, we've got the heater on all the time, so that's really affecting them. It's drying out the air a lot, but also making it hot and dry. So we need to be mindful of that. So first of all, keep your plants out of drafts. It is a bad idea to have them anywhere where they're going to be copping a draft because it dries them out, and it can also give them sudden temperature changes, which depending on the variety of plant can really throw them off. Fiddle leaf figs are definitely one of those. They hate a draft and they hate changing temperatures. The other thing that you can do is mist your plants regularly. Several times a day if you can would be wonderful. It just helps to keep the moisture up to the leaves while the air around them is quite dry. Another good idea is to dust off the leaves. During this time, obviously there's a lot less light in the house, and so the plants need as much of their surface area clean and available to try and absorb the light that's around them to convert it to food for them so they can continue to stay happy and healthy over winter. So dust them off. I just use a wet cloth, or damp I should say, and I just wipe over the leaves gently. I don't add anything special to it. I don't go and buy any special sprays. Water is perfectly fine. The next thing that I would recommend is, now that it is darker, you do try and move the plants to brighter places in the house whenever you can. So if your room was already in filtered light and now it's darker still, it's a good idea to either move them out into a brighter spot in your garden, making sure that they're protected from wind, frost, excessive rain, etc., or otherwise just move them to a brighter spot in your house. Artificial light is fine if that's all you've got. So try and give them at least a couple of hours of light, extra light a week, and just to keep them happy and healthy. The last one that I will mention though is to water really sparingly. Over winter, some of us are still in the habit of watering from summer, and especially with the heaters on, the surface of the soil tends to look dry, and so we think, oh okay, we've got to go and water it. It's a mistake. Where you can, either pop your finger in about an inch or so into the soil just to have a feel if it is still damp a bit further down, or otherwise get yourself a little water meter. You can sometimes tell by feeling the outside of the pot. If the outside of the pot is really cold, then it usually means that there's a fair bit of moisture in there. Or check the bottom, check the little drainage holes down there, because you want to make sure that your plant is not sitting in moisture, because then you risk root rot, particularly over the colder months. So water sparingly, try and have a watering routine, mist your plants regularly, keep them out of drafts, give them extra light where you can, and dust off those leaves like a good plant parent. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Wednesday What? Tune in again in the next few weeks for your next installment. Bye!